Okay, hi. How are you doing?
Oh, hello.
Yeah,
How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm not too bad. So, yeah, we're looking at Foundation again. So,
Yeah, yeah,
season
yeah.
2, episode 3,
King
uh,
and commoner.
King and Commoner.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, so watched this yesterday. So, there's quite a lot jumping around again in this one.
yeah,
But they start off on uh, Una's world,
yeah,
which
yeah,
we thought was Ignis. So, they're supposed to be going to Ignis, to
yeah,
the site of the second Foundation. But Harry's taking control of the ship, and they get there, and they're like, "Oh, there doesn't seem to be a lot here." And he's like, "Well, it's because it's covered. So I'll take you to somewhere else."
yeah,
So they're in Una's world, which is where the representation of Carly or whatever inside the Prime Radiant told him to go.
yeah. That's right. Yeah, yeah,
So we're not sure why, but we get there, and it's basically just a desert, and there's sort of like remnants of odd machines and shit, but
statues and shit.
statues and shit there. So they're a bit miffed that they've taken him there. But like him and Gaal really aren't getting on, which is quite cool actually. I think
Yeah,
it's quite funny their thing because they're just like both of them are like making mistakes in a way, they're both sort of being quite selfish, but they both
yeah,
think it's the other one that's being selfish, but they're both doing it
yeah, yeah,
and sort of so I think
yeah.
it's
They're
kind of
quite alike. They're both.
yeah, I mean they're both sort of stubborn and I think they've
Yeah.
both got a bit of a sense of their self-importance, probably
Mm.
Harry more than her, but I think she definitely has it as well.
Oh, yeah,
Um, and Salvor is sort of stuck in the middle of it.
yeah.
Um, kind
She's.
of,
I'm really enjoying Salva at the moment. She's. Well, she's just so pragmatic about everything. She's been told that um, Gail's seen her death, and she's like, "It's 150 years. What else?" Do you know what I mean? It's just,
yeah, you can tell she's kind of still like it's like affected her though, but she's being sort of like, yeah, she's just sort of like, oh yeah, it's fine. I'll,
yeah, yeah.
I'll be dead, but you can tell she's kind of like, what the hell?
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I'm kind of, I'm liking that whole thing with them.
Yeah. I
It's
like the bickering between Gail and
Yeah, it's good because like they kind of, I mean, in the first series they kind of made Gail out to be a little bit kind of just great, but like in it, it's quite clear that she's, I mean, she's fucked everything up for
well,
his
she
plan,
has, yeah, yeah.
but
And
like,
Harry's quite pissed off about it. But I mean,
yeah,
what
but
can you
and
do, you know?
she's completely unrepentant as well. She's
Yeah.
just like that's what I wanted to do, so therefore
Mm.
we do it. So and I think that's kind of cool. They've made them like that. They're a bit more realistic. They've just
Yeah.
got kind of,
Yeah, they're
you
not
know,
they're not super competent. They're just sort of figuring
No,
it
yeah,
out now.
exactly. They're both
Yeah.
like majorly
Yeah.
sort of like fucked up and flawed, and they literally resort to actually arguing and shouting at each other. So it's kind of
Yeah.
fun, they're stuck with each other,
Yeah.
and that's really cool. I think because it kind of rather than making one the other one's sort of bitch or something like that. They're both sort of like trying to score points, if you like,
Yeah.
or are they? I mean, I don't know. They're just single minded in their thing, but the end,
Yeah.
but
Well, I don't think Gail had a lot of choice in what she's had to do. I
not
mean,
really.
she saw Raish kill Harry, and that's a massive shock. He
Yeah,
throws her into a life pod. She ends up on a ship, has an argument with Harry, sees the death of Raish, which was like 100 years ago, and it's quite
yeah.
a nasty death as well. And he gets thrown out of an airlock. Then she turns up on Synax, and it's just all too much. And it's not like at any point she could have gone, hang on a minute, let me breathe for a second here. Do you know what I mean? The decision
Yeah,
she's made was basically on information she had. She was worried about race, so she stumbled into that sort of murder scene.
yeah,
She that wasn't really a choice. It was just like, oh, I'm worried
yeah,
about race. Do you know what I mean? So it's not really. Yeah, she is unpredictable, but that's a good thing, because we don't really know where the story's going. We kind of do know where the
yeah.
story's
I
going,
mean,
but
that's exactly. I think they're both,
and I know
all of them.
Harry's pissed off because he was
Yeah,
like thrown into a mental jail for like 100. But I don't think she really realised that she was doing that to him.
no, exactly. But she's not even that apologetic either, because I think also
No.
she's like he's not real.
And
He's
also,
not a
yeah,
real
yeah, he's
person.
a construct, but
Yeah,
also as well, she's how would you say? Well, it's not really her fault, and yeah, he is a construct, and she's annoyed at him because he's been lying to her or not. He just omitting the facts, like he's so arrogant with his facts, and
yeah,
I'll keep this to myself because I know better, sort of thing. And she's like, "Well, I know better. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? I might know better. Do you know
I
what I
th-
mean?"
I
So
think that's
yeah,
yeah. I think that's it's the good thing about it. It's like you can kind of see her point of view. You can
yeah,
kind of see Harry's point of view as well. Like he's like, I'm trying to save the entire galaxy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? From like
I would totally
thousands and
see both
thousands of
sides.
years
Yeah, that,
of like and like all you had to do was
yeah,
go to that second foundation and the plan would have been okay, but instead, oh no, you decided to do so. Like yeah, it's kind of they're both like right and wrong,
yeah, yeah.
which is good. It's
And
refreshing.
Salvor's got to listen to
uh,
it. So
yeah, yeah, she's kind of so it's almost like a child listening to her bickering parents.
yeah,
It's kind of like
Salvor's the adult in the room. Both of
yeah,
them
sort
two
of.
are like are
I
just
think
like
yeah.
siblings.
It's
Yeah.
kind of refreshing. It's kind of cool to
Mm.
see this sort of thing, right? Because it's always like usually, the young girl would be completely right about everything, and the old guy would just sort of like eventually just sort of slither away and die. So it's kind of cool that they're both sort of holding their own and stuff. I really like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, Salvor sort of gave a backhanded comment about, well, you don't know what you're going to get with your parents, do you? Sort of thing. Do you
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
I was like,
exactly.
I was like, what?
Kind of like
Yeah.
waiting for her to lose her shit a bit. So
Yeah.
that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
We had a very brief thing on Terminus where they were sort of miffed about the warden being murdered.
Yeah.
They
I got over
completely,
that really quick.
yeah, they
Yeah.
seem to be completely in the dark about what the hell's going on. Um, but
Oh,
we didn't really see a great deal.
the cool thing I noticed about when they were on Una's World with Harry um and Gail when they were walking, because I was thinking, has he got any footprints? Because I was thinking he's a,
Yeah.
and he hasn't.
Oh,
But,
really? I didn't notice that.
yeah,
Well done.
yeah, she's got footprints, and I thought, oh, they're
Yeah.
hair footprints, and then I looked
Oh,
because
because she has to carry him in the prime
yeah, he's a
radiant
projection.
because she doesn't want to go at one point. She's just like, oh, I'm
No,
not doing
she's
it.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
it's
just
fucking
not doing
miles
it.
away as well, and he
Yeah.
does it. Yeah,
Exactly. But she's
but
just like, no, I'm not doing it. And he's like, well, you have to. And she's like, well, I'm not doing it. And in the end, Salvor's the one that says, just
for
fucking do
fuck's
it so that
sake,
we can
oh,
leave. Because it's quite clear at that point, Gail's just saying no for the sake of it
yeah, yeah,
because she's
yeah,
just pissed off of him. So it's up to
yeah.
Salvor to say, it doesn't care if you like this situation or not. You just have to do it.
Yeah, it was just a
So,
detail I noticed because I was thinking, well,
yeah,
he's a projection, so he shouldn't have
yeah,
footprints, and he
that's
didn't.
really
Well
cool.
done.
They've done a lot. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it.
So,
So,
yeah, we're on Terminus.
So yeah, there's not. I mean, not a lot happens on Terminus. I think they just sort of like we need to who's this Hober Mallow bollocks,
Yeah,
um,
his
and
name
then
throws me every time they say it. Hober
it's
Mallow.
it's weird, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird name.
Then we end up on some place called Lepsis, which is like a prison sort of penal
It's
colony.
like a salt mine, isn't it?
Yeah. And then we see. So at this point, I wasn't sure whether that was going to be Hober Mallow or Bel Rios,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
Demoiselle turns up, and I'm just like, okay, here we go. She's fucking in charge of everything.
yeah,
And here's this Bel Rios who was a general in the Empire, very respected and well loved general sort of thing.
yeah,
And he's just like looks like shit. Been there for 6 years or something like that.
yeah,
And she offers him a deal, and he tries to negotiate for his fellow captives, like freedom for them, and she just refuses. She says they'll get better medical care or something.
more breaks. Yeah,
Yeah, but like he's like whatever. So he's kind of pissed off, but he seems like quite you know, a brave dude. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
He's like quite brave to their faces, and he doesn't really give a
He's
shit
loyal to
about.
his crew and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
he's not afraid to tell them what he thinks because he's like, you're obviously here because you need me.
yeah. Right.
So he's quite
And he immediately starts trying to negotiate
yeah,
for better. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
So
He's
basically, So that was quite cool. And I've seen that guy, that actor, in a lot of things actually, and he's been in a few quite good things, good TV series.
Yeah, he's got a good
Um,
face. I think he's more
um,
theatre, isn't he? He's sort of
I think
Probably
I
Shakespearean.
I'm
Don't
not
know.
sure. I saw him. I know he was a priest in. Did you ever watch the Exorcist TV series?
No, I
It was
couldn't.
actually I actually really enjoyed it, but it got axed. It had Gina Davis from The
Oh,
Long Kiss
really?
Goodnight in it. Yeah,
Yeah, I wondered what happened to her.
yeah, she was in
Mm,
that. I actually really enjoyed it. I think
yeah.
it was The Exorcist TV. I think he was in some horror thing. He was a priest.
I don't understand why Korea died, because she could act and she looked, she's gorgeous as well. When she was, I don't
Maybe
know what she's
just
like now, but I
I
mean,
don't know, just an older version of who she is, and maybe she's just had enough.
yeah,
Maybe she
oh,
just doesn't
maybe,
want to
or
do it
yeah,
anymore. Who
yeah, I don't
knows?
blame her. Yeah,
Yeah, but I always liked her.
yeah.
But anyway, I enjoyed him in that. He was like a priest who was kind of, I think he was defrocked. There's that whole fucking shit that they do in all these shows, which is like the priest who's given up, he's lost his faith, sort of
Oh
shit,
God, yeah,
But I
yeah.
really liked him in it. He was also in
Lost, yeah,
some,
lost his faith. Yeah, they
and I
did it
think,
in Signs as well.
yeah,
Mel Gibson was an ex-priest
yeah,
who'd lost it. Yeah,
but he was,
it's
and
probably
he
quite
was,
common.
I think it probably is, and he was like a gay priest in that show, and he was in some other show, and he was like a dance instructor. And that was quite good as well. So I quite like him. It's been in a few not
He's
big
got a good
things.
face. Yeah, he's got a good
It's been in a
face.
lot of sort of TV, but I
And he
quite
can
like him.
act, you can
And he
tell. I
can
mean, a
act.
bit later on, he's in bits later on, and it looks pretty authentic to me anyway.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean that whole thing went on for quite a long time. That meeting his partner sort of thing, who looks fucking 20 years younger than him.
well, he probably is. I mean,
He
he's been
probably
chucked
is.
on a salt mine for. I mean, that's gonna
six
give you.
years he was there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna fuck up your skin, isn't it?
yeah,
Needs to
absolutely.
get
So,
some water in there, bit of hydration.
so it's funny. So like that's his husband. I
Mm.
thought it was funny they made him a hairdresser. Well, that's just me.
Is he a hairdresser?
Well, no, when he cuts his hair.
Right. Yeah. Sorry.
I was just like, have you not had people to do that? Oh no, that's fine. My husband's a hairdresser. I'm sorry, that's not meant to be offensive. I just thought it was funny. Stereotypes. But
He's a stereotype.
so yeah,
Well, to be honest, I haven't
there's
met
all that.
any male hairdressers who aren't gay. To be honest,
Really?
it's like uh, male nurses. It's like 99%.
I don't know that.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't know what the statistics are, but
No, I don't know.
it's up there. You know,
um,
but it's
we're
just a thing of life, isn't it? It's just
just a thing of life.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think
Cool.
so. I mean, I've worked in a lots of NHS. I'm going to get myself into trouble now. I ain't got a problem with it. It's not that you notice when you work in the NHS, most of the male nurses are gay. It's just it's part of life, you know. That and
Cool.
hairdressers. Sorry, hairdressers and nurses, but it's a fucking fact of life. Anyway, that's my 2 pence worth. Anyway,
Awesome. So we also end up looking for Hober Mallow
yeah.
so he's on some planet called Corel, and he
Yeah.
does like you can tell straight away he's after something. He's sort
Oh,
of
they've made
playing.
him into a Cockney
Yeah,
sparrow,
he's a
haven't
bit of a
they?
wheeler dealer sort of
Yeah.
type, although he looks about
I
15.
had a little groan at that, but that's all right, I suppose.
Yeah, it was a bit. I mean, I wasn't too. Oh, this is probably the
See,
weakest
that's a
segment.
stereotype.
What?
Cockney sparrow. Bit cheeky, bit wheeling,
Yeah, true.
dealing. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought. I mean, I don't know. I thought this whole thing was a little bit cheesy.
Well,
I
I
think
thought I
is the
thought
word.
about this
Yeah.
because, and then I remembered when I was reading after after Harry comes out of the vault, and you think, oh, it's only Harry, because I thought it was going to be something like fantastic ancient. When I was reading the books, rather, when I was reading the books, and then Harry came out of the vault, I was expecting some ancient alien civilization, and knowledge and all of that, and I thought it was going to be really cool, and it just turns out it was him. It's like, and then I went on to the next one, and it was like, who are all these fucking new people? So they've got to introduce Bel Rios, and they've got to introduce Hober Mallow.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was young, because I read them when I was really young, I was just like, oh God, I've got to get used to these people again.
Mm.
But I mean, the last two sort of episodes of this they've got to fill them in real quick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely.
So,
You need to find out, see who they are and stuff. And
I
I
mean,
suppose
that
this is,
bloke who had the sword, with the blue
oh,
crystal
yeah.
thing, and he's obviously an asshole, and like
Yeah.
quite stupid. So he kind
Like,
of
yeah,
deserves to get
like I say, I
clonked.
thought this
Yeah.
episode was a bit fucking cheesy, to be honest, because
Mm.
like it seemed a bit. I mean, that guy Philip Glenister, he's like a British actor. He was in oh god, that TV show
Was he
series
the
I
was
never
he the
saw,
king or Hober Mallow?
The King,
Oh right, yeah, yeah,
sort of thing, or The Commander or something. He was in that show. I can't remember what it's called. The sort of time travel show where the guy wakes up and ends up in the 70s. Can't remember what it's called. I never watched it.
yeah,
But I recognise him. But yeah, so he's sort of like a kind of like the mayor, the local commander. It seems a bit not really bothered. He doesn't seem particularly evil. He just seems a bit arrogant. He doesn't really seem like he's you know that
yeah.
bad. But then later on, you see them executing people for shit. So they're obviously quite mental. But
He's a
but
little
like
bit stupid as well. He's a bit
but
overly
but yeah, but
stupid.
the whole town, the city or whatever, we see everyone's in uniforms and stuff. It doesn't look like there's mass poverty or anything, but it just
Mm.
looks like a sort of military, sort of rather well-off society, but sort of
Yeah, it's
feudal.
probably a bit of a
Um,
dictatorial.
yeah, exactly. And like they're
Yeah.
executing people by dropping a massive spike on them,
What do they call it? Titan's prick.
right in brick or something. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of like it was. I mean, like I say, it was a bit cheesy and stuff. Off with his head, sort of thing. It was a bit like
yeah.
that, sort of
When did
like
we used to do it? We used to, what, 1700s, 1800s? We used to do all that shit, didn't we?
I don't know. Did we? Yeah, I'm not
Public
sure.
executions.
That sort of stuff. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
so it still happens in some countries, I imagine. Public floggings and shit.
Yeah, I
Look at
don't know if I'd
India.
like go and buy some candy floss and have a cheer though. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
No,
But
I wouldn't do that.
it's not my,
Enjoy the local, put some
yeah.
local bands on,
Yeah, it's not,
a
yeah,
few
not,
pop-ups.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Maybe
wouldn't.
buy a little thing that you can hit with a Titan's prick, and then all blood comes out of it. It's
Yeah,
type
the little
type
ones you buy if
toy.
you bring the kids out for the day, get a
Yeah,
barbecue. Yeah, I'm not sure I'd be into that.
yeah. No,
Um,
that's not my
we
cup
get
of tea.
we get enough of that
Yeah,
on social media.
yeah,
Ooh.
right.
But
Yeah,
yeah, so that it was a bit cheesy. He basically tries to sell him this bracelet that swaps bodies, and the guy's like, "I must have it," which I thought was like, "Why would you need it? What would you need that for?" But then it was quite obvious what he was going to do. That's the thing; it was
yeah.
obvious. And then he did the body swap, and then he swapped back.
Quantum entanglement.
Quantum entanglement. I mean, yeah, that was all a bit sort of wishy-washy sort of technology. But he kind of knew what he was going to do. Um, yeah, you kind of knew what he was up to because the fact that he just switched back, and was like, "Oh yeah, fine," it was just, and he'd stolen the jewel, but it was
Yeah,
actually, more to it and stuff. It was all a bit, I don't know. I didn't really care about any of them,
yeah,
I thought it was a little cheesy, but
yeah, yeah.
that's the way we introduce Hober Mallow, so we can tell he's the sort of like, even when he's going to the gallows or the Titans
Yeah,
prick
it's
or whatever,
cocky.
he's
Yeah,
sort of like just like, oh, so any chance I could get a cup of tea before I go? Oi, oi. Sort of
yeah,
like, I'm a bit busy at the moment, sort of shit.
yeah,
It's a bit cheesy. I thought I keep saying cheesy until people listen.
yeah,
Um, so that we only see Trantor briefly.
yeah,
We see Bel Rios come into Trantor and giving the Empire a load of shit to his face, which was kind of cool.
yeah,
But how Empire didn't kill him, I don't know, because normally we'd just be like, it's not worth it. I'm not going to let you disrespected into his
yeah.
face like that. But
I've
I
got a
think,
feeling it's Damosels. Um, yeah, normally he'd be just like, yeah,
yeah, I mean,
death. But
obviously he needs him and stuff like that. and that's why he got away with it, and he's got nothing to lose by being by speaking to Empire that way.
Yeah,
But even
yeah.
so, he's still messing with the wrong guy, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Like as soon as he's fulfilled his purpose, he's dead.
Yeah.
It's quite clear. But yeah, it's a shame we didn't see as much of Empire this time. I thought it's a shame because I always like him when he's in it.
Yeah,
You know,
it's interesting that he said, "Hit me," and he said, "I can't." So he's taken an oath
yeah,
not to harm the Empire,
yeah, and he's very loyal. And again, he says a bit
even though he
later, he
hates
says,
him.
yeah, he
It,
says to his husband later, it's like a weak empire needs a strong general.
yeah,
Because he's thinking about
everybody.
everybody sort of thing like
Yeah,
that. So so it's quite
I
interesting.
think that thing on the back of his neck, because I just um, it's got like a brand on
Yeah,
the back of his neck, but I think that's going to be a bit more important than a brand because they showed it quite a lot.
yeah.
And I
I
don't know
wasn't
if
sure
it's
if it was a prison brand or
like some kind of conditioning or
yeah,
something.
not
Like he's,
sure.
yeah, I don't
It
know.
didn't explain it, did it? But
No, no, no. But they made a point of showing it a few times, so I've got a feeling it's um,
um,
more than
yeah,
just a brand on the back of his neck.
exactly.
Yeah,
But then we see him then sort of like he's all his husband's cut his hair. He's looking all nice. He goes back onto his fleet, and there's again a bit of a cheesy moment when he gets back on his ship, and they're all smiling at him like that.
yeah, yeah.
And then he meets the
It's a bit
space,
Star
and
Trek.
then he
Yeah,
has a bit of sort of cheeky banter with this fucking alien spacer woman, which was a bit like,
yeah.
why are you talking like modern people? Like this, got I don't know. I didn't buy that at all.
Mm.
But because the spacers in the first series, they're fucking almost completely alien. I mean, they're obviously
Yeah,
human,
they're
but
like a
they're just
different species. They, yeah,
they're
yeah,
specifically engineered to live to work in jump space or whatever, while other people can't do it. So the fact that she just seemed like some normal person you'd
yeah.
meet
Oh,
working in your
hi.
local shop. Oh, here
Mm.
you are again. I
Yeah,
just thought it was fucking weird. I thought that was a mistake. I thought it was a mistake to sort of make them less alien. Um,
yeah.
but anyway,
Yeah,
but that
she
was
looked pretty cool though. I liked all of the
she looked
golds.
great. Yeah,
I
what?
like all the gold. There's almost like they've got like circuit boards under their skin,
Yeah,
haven't they?
yeah.
Yeah, she looked
I
really
thought it was
cool.
great. All the effects and what have you in this are brilliant.
Yeah, it looks
They really
fantastic.
are
Yeah, yeah.
everything. So
There's a really
it's
nice scene where they sort of use a transport to get to the jump ship as well, and it was
yeah,
beautifully. Yeah, it's
yeah. No, true.
beautiful. Beautiful space scenes.
There's really like when they're on the prison planet actually, and he's patting salt or whatever they're doing, and Demozel's ship comes over, and it's just really brilliant. It's kind of
Yeah,
almost
it looks
it's got
amazing.
it's got that
Yeah,
sort of like when you first saw Star Wars when we were kids, and stuff like that. When you first see a ship and it's like, you're just kind of really super impressive. But of course, better.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
really really good.
No, it looks fantastic.
I love
Costumes,
all that.
set design, everything's
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah,
So
yeah,
he's sort of like, right, okay, we're off to do whatever we're going to do, and then I think finally we end up back on Una's world,
yeah,
and um, Gail and Harry have basically she's opened some door because he can't touch it because he's a whatever. And there's a representation of Carly there, and she's like, I can take it from here, sort of thing. And Harry's like, I have to go, but I might die. I don't know what's going to happen. So if I'm not back in 6 hours, you can go. And
yeah.
then 6 hours passes, and they're just like, well,
What are we gonna do?
Salvor's like, what would he do she goes, he would go. She's like, fuck it, we're fucking leaving him.
Yeah,
Um, but then they pick up a life sign or something, and they're like, who the fuck's this? And Gail's just like, it's Harry. Don't know how she knows that, but she just knows it's Harry, even though he doesn't have a body.
yeah,
So they go, well, let's retrieve him, and it's just in the nick of time because there's some robots
yeah.
sort of
Them crazy mining
crabby,
robots.
crabby
Yeah,
which are designed just to kill life
humans.
forms, apparently. So why it didn't attack them, I don't
Yeah, you
know.
think you'd turn that program off after a while? I mean,
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't turn up when Gale was walking across the sand. It was
yeah,
all a
I
bit,
thought about that as well.
yeah, it was all just a
Yeah,
bit like put a bit of peril in there, unless of course Well, I don't know. Why would Carly do it? But anyway, so it turns out Harry's got a body now.
Harry's got a body.
Harry's got a
Yeah,
body now.
yeah.
So she's obviously done that. And Gail says, "What are you?" to her. So, I mean, I fucking no idea what her deal
No,
is. I
I
mean,
mean she could be an android. But who knows? But hopefully we'll find out because that's quite interesting.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, no, absolutely. So I don't know if it's to do with the planet. Is there some major crazy machinery down there, or is she, I don't know. Absolutely no fucking idea. Is she really who she says she is? Is she just looks like Carlo? I don't know.
yeah.
So that
Could
was
be
kind of.
anything.
So I mean, I kind of liked it.
Yeah, I
I thought
liked
it was a
it.
good
Yeah,
episode. I mean, it was like I said, there were some fucking cheesy bits where I mean, if it starts going down that let's make lots of jokes things, sort of thing, I think that's a fucking mistake.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
but I thought it was cool. I thought they introduced the new guys in the sort of you know
yeah,
decent way. I could,
yeah.
I always miss Empire stuff because I always find the more the sort of political intrigue is more
Yeah, I want to
satisfying.
know what's
I
going
think.
on with Damazal and what she's up to.
Yeah,
And I mean, all of this stuff's got to be laid down
yeah,
because there's new, there's going to be new characters that we've got to be because in the books, because everything jumps forward, thousands of years. You're sort of confronted with a bunch of new characters every so often,
yeah,
and like when I was young, when I read it, I was just like, oh, I can't be bothered with this because I just got used to, in the books,
yeah,
like Gail and Salvor are probably dead by now. You know what I mean? And I just got used to them and liked them, and then now it's a bunch of
yeah.
other people that I had to get used to. So,
I think that's
um,
why a lot of people are turned off by the show because I keep seeing like quite a lot of negative reviews about the show,
I think it's
and
really good. I think
I
the
think
way
it's
they've done
brilliant.
it is great.
There are some good
Yeah.
reviews, I think, but there are a lot of negative ones, and I think a lot of it are people are just confused. I think it's just a bit difficult for some people. Do you know what I mean?
To sort of, yeah, so to move on.
And
Yeah.
fine, don't
Well,
watch it. Watch something that's simple for your little minds.
yeah, I mean, now that we've seen sort of, I mean, I like the way they've kept Gale and Salvor because we know them, and we go to see the new, the time jump from and a new, the new time through
Yeah,
their eyes, and at least we don't feel sort of lost.
yeah. There's continuity there, isn't there?
Yeah,
Things
yeah.
are changing, and
I mean, if they killed them off, I'd be like, "Oh fuck, I don't know if I
yeah.
can be arsed with this
It's
now." I
sort of
mean,
like
Harry's around, but
yeah,
but because we've got these two that we know, it's good because we've got a sort of an anchor
yeah.
when the time shift happens.
It's cool because they're all
Yeah.
sort of playing these really super long term plans.
Mm.
And I like. I mean, similar in June. June the books. It's all about long term plans that
Yeah,
span
yeah,
generations and hundreds of thousands of years, or hundreds of years. The Bene Gesserit sort of pissing around with, looking, centuries in the future at
yeah,
outcomes and
yeah,
stuff like that. I kind of like that all that stuff, and it's just seeing how it all plays out.
yeah.
So
No, yeah, I
but
enjoyed it.
it's still it's still really good, excellent sort of way it looks and stuff.
Yeah, so yeah,
There was
fantastic
something
production.
on it like when Polly, the fucking priest called Polly, was trying to talk to Hober Mallow. He seemed like he knew him.
Yeah.
So like, is he from Terminus, Hober Mallow? I wasn't quite sure.
I don't know. Polly's a little bit dodgy, isn't he? I mean, like
Yeah,
he takes drugs and gets drunk and stuff. He's kind of like he's lost his faith, priest.
yeah. He does refuse a drink a bit at some point in this
Yeah,
as well.
that's
Someone
right.
gives him a drink and he's like, "No, I'm all right." Like, do you know what I mean? So he's got stuff to do, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
You
he's
know,
getting his shit together. But
um,
yeah, maybe he knows them because he's dodgy and Hope Mallow's dodgy.
yeah, because I was
Yeah,
like, how would they know who he is otherwise? But I wasn't sure if he was from Terminus, maybe, but I don't
yeah,
know. It wasn't quite
yeah.
clear.
But
But
they would have
it's
known
just,
his name, because when they
yeah, that's true.
incinerated that guy, when the vault incinerated that
Yeah,
guy.
that's true. They would have all known it, but like Polly knew his name, so I don't know. Well, maybe because Polly's been out in the universe,
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
obvious. I don't know, but
Also,
it's
he
not
get
important.
um, Hober Mallow nicks their ship or tries to, and the two priests get on, don't they? So but I think they managed to take them back to, but we haven't seen that bit. Yeah, they take them back to Terminus.
to Terminus, see what's
Yeah,
going on.
yeah.
Yeah. So I
So
wonder why that's all about.
yeah,
So I thought it was good. I
yeah,
enjoyed it. Yeah, it wasn't, a couple of cheesy moments, which as long
yeah,
as they keep it to a minimum, I think that's fine. Because
yeah,
I don't think if they've put those cheesy bits in to sort of appeal to a broader audience, I don't think it's going to work. Because I
yeah.
don't think the
We
broader
don't need
audience
that.
are interested
Yeah, just
in
tell the
in this.
story.
Yeah, to tell it in the way that people are liking it.
Yeah,
Don't fuck it up. Um, but I'm really enjoying it. I really hope we get a third. And I don't know how many.
yeah.
I
I
don't
hope
know
they
where we
finish
are in the
it.
overall
Yeah,
story. I really hope we do get something like that. It carries on because I'm really enjoying it.
yeah. Me too.
Cool.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's all I've got to say about Foundation.
yeah.
What about you?
Yeah. No, let's leave it there. I'll see
Yeah,
you next week.
wonderful. See you next year.
Yeah.
Bye.